Discipline and function should be the goal. Aesthetics are just a side effect. Welcome back to the Daily Reps podcast. We're on episode 25 today. It's me, Brendan, and we're going to be talking about training for the fight, not just for the look. So the whole idea of this podcast is to make sure that you guys tune in, get your mind right, get your head in the game for the daily reps, the stuff that's going to move the needle in your business, the stuff that's going to make you feel better about yourself, build your confidence, and really what this is a platform for you guys to grow and connect with together. And I'm still growing myself, but the idea is that you show up every single day and you do the things that are necessary to get you to where you want to be. So let's say you just want to be really fit and you're really strong to be able to go and run a certain race or run a marathon, or be fit to help your granny in with the bags from the shop and all that sort of all the good stuff, all the stuff that makes you feel good. And it's all well and good, being able to show the muscles and all the rest of it, but you need to have the discipline to go with that. You need to be able to perform under pressure. And I think the whole idea, I did a podcast on this a little while ago called "Be Strong to Be Useful," and the whole ethos around that. And this is kind of the same sort of thing. You want to be functional, you want to become reliable, you want to be strong. And I think this episode is much more about the actual physical training rather than the mindset, but the mindset really ties in because it ties in with the discipline, the reliability, and the person that's responsible, the person that other people look to and go, damn, this guy's here every single morning at 6 in the morning, or he's here every single night at 6 p.m. He shows up no matter what, and he's always here, he's always doing it, he's dependable, he's reliable, he's habitual. And that's where you need to get to. And if you are showing up at the gym or whatever it is that you do, then make sure you train your legs. So many people, and this is the key a lot seem to be missing. They lift for their ego, they lift to impress their mates, they lift to impress themselves, they lift to get the girls, and then they put on a pair of shorts and they've got fucking chicken legs under there and it does nothing for them. Do you know, if you actually train your legs and do heavy squats or whatever it is, and then there's loads of people that hide behind these excuses, oh, I can't do squats because of my knees. Well, go and do bodyweight training. Have you ever tried a pistol squat? Have you ever tried a weighted pistol squat? Have you ever tried any plyometric stuff with your legs? It's fucking hard. And I'm not saying that you have to have massive, everyone has to be a strong man and really ripped and massive and really functional. I'm just saying you've got to be better than you were yesterday. So if you're not training your legs, guess what you need to start doing? You need to start training your legs. Because the biceps, the triceps, the chest, the abs, that's all vanity stuff. Guys can do that in their sleep. You look at women for motivation for training legs and glutes because they train it every single day, but they don't train the upper body. Guys are the opposite. Well, I promise you, if you decide that you're going to train your legs as well, and you still do the other stuff, because that stuff grows easy, it'll actually grow better because training your legs releases testosterone and it helps you put on more muscle and it helps you get stronger faster. So if there's no motivation other than that, that is the thing you should do. But definitely put a barbell on your back and start getting used to putting weight on there. And if you fit in skinny jeans, unless you're an athlete that needs to stay skinny and slim and light, and if you want to get bigger and stronger and look better and more functional, if you can still fit in skinny jeans, you're not training your legs hard enough. I don't mind. See, this is what I like about CrossFit and High Rocks and all these functional stuff, because it's super, super functional, but these guys are ripped and they're strong. You ever looked at a gymnast's legs and arms and shoulders and biceps? They're really, really strong. And I'm kind of going round in circles here, but I'm trying to get it in your head that there's loads of different styles, and basically whatever sport it is that you like that person, the way that they look, maybe it's a gymnast, maybe it's a CrossFitter, maybe it's anything at all, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, a strong man, and you see they're absolutely jacked and they're massive, or I know bodybuilders look good, but they're not terribly functional. They're quite strong in isolated movements, and they're still really strong, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're terribly functional. I think if you told them to go and do an obstacle course or something like that, or do a CrossFit class, they'd probably really struggle. And I think it's better to be really fit and strong. A lot of the higher elite service military guys, like your SBS and SAS guys, particularly the SAS, they look like Joe Blogs. They they look, they're not all ripped and muscly and stuff like you think that they are. They are literally just guys, but they're uber strong, they're uber fit, and they'll run circles around anyone because they're just tapped in the head and they're just saying, I'm going to do this regardless of what happens. And they've trained for that. And they train hard and they work hard and they fight hard. But this is what I'm saying. These guys put weight on their backs and tab every day. They train their legs in the gym. They do everything, all functional fitness, all movement based fitness, all weight added fitness. And that's what you guys should be doing. And not only is that going to help your discipline, it's going to help your testosterone, it's going to help you feel better about yourself, it's going to help you be fitter and stronger so that when the time comes that you need to be fit and strong and show up, you can easily do it. Let's take, for example, the mountain rescue guys up in Scotland or wherever they are. They've got a tab and run up a mountain with a bag of kit and get there before the helicopter gets there to lift these people out. They've got to run up there from wherever they can park closest to with their Land Rover. These guys are fit. They're ready to go at a moment's notice. That's the kind of fit you want to be. You want to be the guy that jumps into the fire, treks into the hill and starts attacking that wildfire to try and stop it spreading. You need to be that kind of fit in life to roll with the punches, to sustain yourself, to provide and protect your family. So can you, that then raises the question, can you protect, provide and perform under pressure? And do you have the enough strength to be able to carry that on? And if you're short, start working on it today because it's never too late to start. You want to build the capacity to be able to carry out all these things. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you're training for the journey. You're training for the eventuality that something in front of you might happen and you need to be super fit. Because let's be honest, most Western societies now, America and the UK particularly, are raising a generation of obese, unhealthy, dependent. It's a dependent society. They're dependent on healthcare. They're dependent on other people to look after themselves. Well, no, this isn't why you're here. You guys are leaders. You're responsible. You're going to take responsibility. You are the ones that are going to show up. You're the uncommon amongst the common, and we show up when it's necessary, and we take charge. We lead. We are the responsible ones. It's on our shoulders because we're the entrepreneurs in life. We're the ones that people depend on in emergencies. And I can say that because I've been an emergency responder. So, okay, it's the Coast Guard. It's not the police. It's not one of the top three. It's the forgotten about one, the Coast Guard. But it doesn't matter. It's still an emergency response. So, and you need to be quite fit, and you want to be a leader. You want to be one of these people that you want to be reliable, and the people that someone turns to and goes, Brendan, he's the guy. He'll sort you out. And it's exhausting and it's tiring at times and all the rest of it. But that's the life that you have chose by being here today. That's the life that I have chose because you want to be useful. You want to be strong. You want people to think about you and think about you in high regard as well. So I hope that's made sense. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. There's quite a lot to unpack there. Basically, chew up every day, get the daily reps in, train your legs, and be super fit and functional. Because that is the foundation for everything in life. Because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. You can have 1,000 problems today when you're healthy. But as soon as you're unhealthy, you have one problem, and that is getting healthy again. So try and stay healthy is the key. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about building systems, not motivation. So this is going to be about business. It's going to be about your lifestyle. It's going to be about a little bit of touch of everything. So tune in for that. But to close and wrap for today's podcast, I want you to train like it matters today. And if you aren't training your legs, I want to make sure you train your legs. But remember, because one day it actually will matter. You will need to be that dependent one. You will need to carry all the shopping bags for your wife after she's had a C-section to deliver your kids. You'll have to do everything. You'll have to be strong. You'll have to be fit. You'll have to be dependable. Maybe you are a woman, you're watching this, but most of my watchers are men. But let's just say you guys are going to be the ones that are responsible, reliable, and dependable. And that's what we're building here. We're building an army of leaders of men. So, with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment, let me know your thoughts, and let me know what you're training today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Share it with someone who think might enjoy it as well, and yeah, thanks for listening.